Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a story that's about 2,500 years old from the Buddhist tradition. And you'll be surprised at how much it has to say about our relationships, even now. So let's get right into it. Right? It's a totally fair question. I mean, we're always looking for the latest advice, the newest studies on how to make our relationships work. But what if some of the most powerful wisdom has been sitting there waiting for us for literally centuries? That's exactly what we're going to unpack. So, our story doesn't start in some modern setting. It starts in the home of a man named Anathapindika. Now, this guy was a big deal, a super wealthy merchant and a really devoted follower of the Buddha. But here's the thing. Despite all his success, his home life was a complete mess. And it was all because of his daughter-in-law, Sujata. You see, Sujata came from a rich family too, and she never let anyone forget it. She brought all of that pride right into her new home. She was argumentative, she wouldn't listen to her husband, and she had zero respect for her in-laws. The whole house was just filled with this constant draining tension. And Anathapindika, her father-in-law, was just heartbroken by all the unhappiness she was creating. Anathapindika felt like he was at the end of his rope. He had no idea what to do. So he decided to turn to the one person he thought could actually help, the Buddha. He invited him over, just hoping for some kind of miracle, some solution to the crisis that was really tearing his family apart. And this is where it gets really interesting. Think about what you'd expect to happen. A lecture, maybe? Some scolding? Nope. The Buddha's approach was completely different. He just calmly sat down with Sujata, and instead of ordering her to change, he got her curious. He asked her this really simple but profound question, basically inviting her to see herself in a new way. So, the Buddha started by laying out 3 types of partners. And he explained that the attitudes and the actions of these types, well, they're unskillful. They're the kinds of behaviors that are pretty much guaranteed to lead to conflict and unhappiness in any relationship. First up, he described a partner who is like a destroyer. Yeah, I know, it sounds incredibly harsh, but it's a label meant to capture a very specific and very harmful set of behaviors. This is a partner who just has a cruel heart, They look down on their spouse, they're unfaithful, they might even actively want to see them fail. So the real key here is that there's this complete lack of basic kindness and loyalty. It's just not there. Okay, the second destructive type is the partner who acts like a thief. And this isn't about literally shoplifting or anything. It's all about how they treat the family's shared money and resources. This goes way beyond just, spending money. It's about having this reckless, careless attitude about the hard work that went into earning it in the first place. This partner just wastes the family's wealth, and in doing so, they totally undermine the security and, maybe even more importantly, the trust that a healthy partnership needs to survive. And the last of these destructive types is the partner who wants to be the master of the relationship. This one is all about power, control, and who's in charge. The main trait here is this constant need for control. This partner is described as lazy, but also bossy and really harsh with their words. They don't view their partner as an equal, not at all. They see them as someone to be ordered around. And you can imagine, that kind of dynamic just brews resentment and conflict. So there you have it, the first 3 types, the destroyer, the thief, and the master. And according to this teaching, they all lead to unhappiness. But then, the Buddha completely shifted gears. He started describing 4 other types of partners, the ones who bring happiness and peace. Let's take a look at those. All right, so this is the pivot point in this story. We're moving away from what causes all the conflict, and instead, we're exploring what actually builds a strong, supportive, and happy partnership. The first of these amazing types is the partner who is like a mother. And this isn't about being patronizing. This metaphor is all about a deep, nurturing sense of compassion. This partner is just overflowing with compassion. They care for their spouse with that same fierce, protective, nurturing vibe that a mother has for her only child. They're a guardian, not just of their partner's happiness, but also of everything they've built together. Next up, we have the partner who is like a sister. This one is really all about deep mutual respect. So, this partner shows this profound respect for their spouse, kind of like the bond between a younger sister and an older brother in that cultural context. They're humble, they're considerate, and they act in a way that brings harmony and honor to the entire family. The 6th type, this one is the partner who is like a friend or a companion. This is such a beautiful concept. I mean, just think about how you feel when you see a really good friend you haven't seen in forever. That pure joy, that's the energy here. This partner is a true companion. They're faithful, they share your values, and just being around them makes you happy. They are your person.
Okay, now the final type, and the one that's praised the most, has a name that can sound really weird to us today, the handmaid. But it is absolutely crucial to understand this is not about being a servant. It's about a profound inner quality.
This partner has incredible self-control. They don't get angry easily. They can hear criticism without getting all defensive. They act with humility. In this teaching, this represents a kind of transcendence of the ego, a state of mind that's free from pride and defiance, which leads to this deep sense of patience and inner peace. So after the Buddha has described all 7 of these types, the spotlight swings back to Sujata. He's basically held up a mirror to her, given her this framework to understand herself and the consequences of her actions. And now, the choice is all hers. The Buddha finished speaking and just waited. And Sujata, who had been listening to every single word, finally got it. She understood where all the misery was coming from, the misery she was creating for everyone, including herself. So which path did she choose? She chose the 7th type, the one that was praised the most highly. She chose to become like the handmaid, a partner who embodies humility and patience. She was just completely humbled by this wisdom, and she voiced this incredible change of heart. She finally understood that real strength isn't about being bossy or proud. It's found in patience, in calm, and in a humble spirit. And her transformation was apparently instant and complete. So, what does this ancient story have to teach us today? I mean, if we look past the specific cultural details, it gives us this timeless way of looking at our own behaviors in our relationships. When you look at it all laid out like this, the main takeaway is crystal clear. This isn't about sticking labels on yourself or your partner. It's about seeing these 7 types as descriptions of attitudes and behaviors. The first 3, the ones based on malice, wastefulness, and dominance, they just create unhappiness. But the last 4, the ones built on compassion, respect, companionship, and humility, those are the building blocks for a happy, peaceful life together. It's a mirror, not a bunch of boxes to check. And really, that's what this 2,500-year-old story leaves us with. The one thing that ties together all the happy partner types is this fundamental shift, away from pure self-interest and towards mutual care and support. It invites us to look past these ancient labels and ask ourselves a really important question. Which of these qualities do I bring to my relationships, and what kind of partner do I really truly want to be? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.